is receiving Social Security, they're not going to see that impact in their checks until January of the new year. But this is going to help a lot of folks really, truly get through these high inflationary times. As we just heard from Caleb and Brian, 8.2%. We are not seeing inflation decline just yet. It is, as Caleb was putting it, sticky high still. And so right now we're seeing a lot of folks, but particularly those Americans that are on a fixed income, really struggling to buy groceries or pay for gas or electricity. So this is definitely going to go.
The Secretary of Finance has also said that to apply, residents must provide valid Social Security numbers, Delaware residential mailing addresses, and active identification cards as well. This bill was meant to be passed by lawmakers in April. The money is meant to help offset the cost of living increase in the state as brought by inflation. Residents of Idaho have until the end of the year to apply for the rebate, up to $300 that is, and $600 for joint filers. Not only that, but in order to qualify for the rebate, Idaho people must have been a full-year resident for 2020 and 2021, and file their 2020 and 2021 individual income tax as well. The amount one will receive varies due to one's financial status. Idaho State Legislature and the governor approved a rebate package in September during a special session at the state legislature. It was part of a larger billion-dollar piece of legislation that included tax cuts, education spending, and other initiatives. The governor's office noted that the rebate could give people affected by inflation some financial relief. According to the Idaho State Tax Commission, some 800,000 rebates worth $500 million are estimated to be sent out by the end of March. State tax authorities started sending out the rebates in late September and have plans to dole out even more payments as additional residents qualify. The Idaho State Tax Commission said that rebates can come via direct deposit or as a check in the mail, but any outstanding tax payments due to the state will be deducted from the final rebate by tax authorities. Now, if you're an Idaho resident, you can use the Where's My Rebate tool to track the status of your check. Nancy Pelosi has long been known for her ability to rally Democratic lawmakers to get tough votes for important pieces of bills. Nancy Pelosi, who has led the House Democratic caucus since 2003, was widely expected to step down from her role next year to make way for a new generation. Now the results of the midterms have altered the calculus, at least for some Democrats, as the party could potentially retain an incredibly slim majority after all the results are tallied. According to the sources familiar with the situation, Pelosi has been contacted by several members who have asked her to remain in her role in the new Congress. So even if the party falls short of retaining its current majority, pointing to her success in maintaining a party discipline. Drew Hamill, Pelosi's spokesman, did not have a timeline for any announcements from the lawmaker. Hamill said in a statement, "The Speaker will make an announcement when she makes an announcement, and to control the House, a party has to secure 218 out of 435 total seats." So according to Insider, as of November 12th, Republicans have won 210 seats, while Democrats have claimed 198 seats. Democrats currently control the House 220 to 212. Republicans last controlled the lower chamber in January when they ceded their majority in the Democratic Party after losing seats in 2018 and the midterms. Pelosi led the chamber from 2007 to 2011 and regained the House's Speaker's gavel in 2019. So, let's see what President Biden does about this.
The CHIPS and Science Act is not handing out blank checks to companies. I've directed my administration to be laser focused on the guardrails that will protect taxpayers' dollars. We'll make sure the companies partner with unions, community colleges, technical schools to offer training and apprenticeships and to work with small and minority-owned businesses as well. We're going to make sure that companies that take taxpayers' dollars don't turn around and make investments in China to undermine our supply chain and national security. You know, we have the power. We have the power to take back any federal funding if companies don't meet these requirements. The law also requires that companies build these semiconductor
anti-poverty program in the country. Now, when President Roosevelt signed the Security Act into law, it helped so many people and was a retirement program for workers. It was just part of a historic New Deal, and the first lump sum payments were made in 1937. But now, in 2022, according to the National Academy of Social Insurance, today's workers pay Social Security taxes into the program, and the money is dispersed as monthly income to beneficiaries in a pay-as-you-go system. 1 in 5 Americans receive the benefits, including more than 47 million retired workers and dependents, 10 million disabled workers and dependents, and 6 million survivors of deceased workers. According to a new report, almost all Americans shall wait beyond the age of 65. just to claim their full Social Security benefits, with more than 90% should not hold out until 70 when they get even more, but only 10% wait until 7 years old. So the advice comes as Americans live longer and face a retirement that could last more years than expected. Let's say you turn 62 in 2022, your full retirement age is 67, and your early benefits can start being at 65, but that's $1,000 a month if you claim it at that age. Now, some Social Security recipients will get an additional $2,400 a year in benefits. That's if a new bill recently introduced in Congress gets approved. So I'm just hoping that President Biden does what he promised to the American people. And we all know what that means. Stimulus payments to people that need it the most. Because that's what happens, folks. President Biden needs to give it to the people that need stimulus checks the most. We have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check and Social Security benefits. Folks, there's a ton of news that you have to know. You will see your monthly benefit check cut because changes are coming to Social Security. And now, you might be seeing some negatively affected, some Social Security recipients and retirees' checks will be negatively affected by this move. Social Security already moved more than 26 million Americans out of poverty. But according to the Census Bureau, it made it more important, and now, the aging population coupled with declining birth rates and has also created a program. Now, Social Security's $1 trillion shortfall over the next 75 years in the trust fund is already on pace to be depleted by 2035. Now, at that point, the Board of Trustees says income from payroll taxes will only cover about 80% of scheduled benefits, and that figure will drop to 74% by 2096. Of course, government officials are well aware of the problem. The Board of Trustees has been forecasting the demise of the trust fund since the 80s. A recent survey from the University of Maryland indicates that certain proposed changes, just to Social Security alone, will enjoy bipartisan support among Americans. What this means is that two proposed changes to delay the trust fund depletion would increase tax revenue for the Social Security program. And now specifically, one would apply Social Security payroll in more wages, and while the other would increase the Social Security payroll tax rate. But now, under this current law, workers pay Social Security tax on the first $147,000 that they earn. Now, any income above that limit is just tax-free. It means that someone with an annual salary of $200,000 pays the same amount as someone with around a salary of $200 million.
Go ahead.
Would you allow an amendment to deal with the workers to this railroad bill, or is it going to have to stick the way it is, the way the White House is?
Leader McConnell and I both want to pass it quickly. We understand the time deadlines, and we'll be working together to figure out the best way to get it done quickly.
Do you have the support of all Democrats to move
As I said, Leader McConnell and I are going to sit down. We agreed to at the meeting today and figure out the best way to get it done quickly. Yes.
I know that you talked about the importance of getting an omnibus done, but Speaker Pelosi also said a year-long CR might be possible if you can. Is that a viable option?
We're focusing on the omnibus, and I think she would certainly make that a much higher priority.